Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
Seriously, Dad, today we're here with Lamarr Todd. He's going to talk to us about his family, his upbringing, his life in the church. We're going to talk about him being a teacher, using comedy to reach out to children, and then we get deep. We talk about some bullying and other stuff. You're going to love it.
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously, Dad? Two father comedians out of Philadelphia. Seriously, Dad?
Dad? Seriously?
Dad?
Seriously? Seriously?
All right, we're back. Another episode. We're in studio today with Mr. Lamarr Todd.
Hey, what's up? What's up,
Dude.
man? What's going on?
Great. We're so glad
Welcome,
you're here,
welcome.
man. Yeah,
Hey,
welcome.
thanks for having me, man. This is cool, man.
Yeah, so we run through a couple segments. We've been finding a new format we really like. So first one, kick off with dad jokes. This is a dad podcast. You got to have
Oh,
a good
dad joke, straight from the rip?
You got a dad joke you like?
Shit, hell yeah. Hey, all right. Hold up. Hold up. All right, I got you.
All right, hit it.
Why did the rapper need an inhaler?
Oh no, but I'm so happy.
I don't know. I can't even go.
You don't know why the rapper needed an inhaler?
No.
No.
He was a little wheezy.
That was pretty fucking good. That was actually pretty good.
Hey, thank you, bro. That's all me. That's
That
all
was
me.
very nice. That's an original.
That's original. That's
Oh,
original.
shit.
I'm pretty sure you can find another one out there, though.
That-
But I
that's-
made it up myself.
I'm
like
not-
that.
I didn't
like
Google
that.
I wish I was
Yeah.
more original. So I
Yeah.
got one. So I was like, I'll be honest. I actually like this sweater, but I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along.
Ooh. That's good. That's good. That's oh man, that's good.
A little self-deprecation.
Mine's
It's okay.
corny as shit. The dude's at a restaurant, and the waiter walks up and says, "Do you want a box for your leftovers?" And he says, "No, but I'll wrestle you for them."
My daughter loves this, like the knock knocks, and like she finally mastered the banana orange joke. Like,
Oh, that's a tough
orange-
one. That's a tough one.
That
for
took a
youngsters.
while.
That's a tough
So
one.
I was like,
yeah.
orange. And that's
Yeah.
when she's like, Daddy, whenever I'm leaving church, like, Daddy, you gonna tell the knock knock? You can tell the orange
Yeah,
banana
totally.
joke tonight? I'm like, totally. It's my clothes are sweet.
Totally,
They're
yeah.
gonna love
Every
it.
day, everywhere I go, I bring it with me.
No, I love a good street joke. That's fun.
That's good.
Sometimes kids they get the those dad jokes mixed up with riddles. And it become like a big ass quiz and shit all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck, kid? What are you doing here?
I went to my daughter's first grade class and they have like mystery reader where you have to like reveal clues that only she'll know about me and then they
Oh,
reveal. So I
nice.
went in and read a story to the class, but then I came ready with about 15 jokes and we went back and forth with these first graders. So now like anytime I work in that same school, so like every once in a while when they see me, like we exchange jokes in the hallway, which is kind of fun. It's just this fun little thing. Cause like, you know, sometimes you're like, I'm like a dad going to this like little kids everywhere. And I'm like, I didn't grow up around a lot of little kids, so I never know what to do. And I'm like, but now it's like, oh, jokes. This is fun. Everybody likes a good laugh, whatever. It's
Yeah, you
fun.
just take material from the 4-year-olds and shit.
That's right.
Like that's okay.
Good. Well, I mean, today's exciting too because Lamarr not only is a comedian and a dad, but he's also a teacher like myself.
Yeah.
So, like, we're going to start our news segment today with a pretty heavy one. Recently in the news, there was a report of, and then Neil, if you could pull the story
Oh, I was getting
up.
excited. Hold on, this is getting dark.
This is good.
now.
No,
Hold on.
we're
Okay, all right, yeah, yeah.
diving. We're
Okay.
deep diving here. This was a story about a 6-year-old who was in first grade, I guess a younger 6-year-old, brought a gun to school, shot his teacher.
Yeah, man, that was
Dude.
yeah.
I mean,
that's
I like
rough.
as someone who teaches in an elementary school, like, I can't even imagine like that. I can't imagine that scenario myself because my parents didn't have like guns in the house and stuff like that. But like, how do
What-
I don't
what
even
the
know to
fuck?
say.
Wait,
Just say it.
wait,
What
wait,
the
what,
fuck?
what kind of gun was this?
That's a great question. So I'm
Must have been a handgun.
It's. I mean,
6-year-old
could you
six-
imagine? He's like walking in with
Can't
like
roll in there with
I mean,
like,
any
Clint
kind of gun
Eastwood, like,
it
big
should knock
revolver.
him the fuck over after he shoots.
You would have
Right,
thought, right?
right, it
The
would be-
kick,
Yeah.
the fact that he hit was amazing. I guess. Like, I don't know.
Because he struck the
It
teacher,
actually
right?
struck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like I don't think anything got to a level where the teacher, you know, didn't pass or whatever. But still, like, I mean, it's one thing to like be upset about your teacher, but it's another thing to like go to a whole new level where You know,
Yeah, that's like premeditation.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot that went
like
into
how
some
does that
maniacal
even
shit,
come in?
right?
Like I'm trying to think about what I was thinking about at 6th grade, and or as a 6-year-old, and I can't imagine.
Year old.
Year
You know what I
old.
mean?
Like we're thinking
not
kindergarten.
6th grade.
Not a
I
sixth
have
grader or a
your-
6-year-old.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
was
big difference.
6-year-old.
I
like,
just stopped shitting in my diapers,
That's
bro, like
right.
2 years ago. You know what I'm
it
saying?
almost
Like,
doesn't seem real though.
yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, I heard about it, and I mean, the access to guns is fucking crazy in this country. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, anybody can. There was a mom, London mom, that went viral. She was snapping about this shit. She was just like, you know, this doesn't happen in London because we don't have guns. And a lot of people snapped out about that. It was like, yo, fuck that bitch. Don't take our guns.
It was like bowling. You ever see that Bowling for Columbine movie back in the day?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that was
exactly,
that whole
yeah.
concept. Then was like the access to them is insane. Because when I studied in Spain in college, and I remember talking to some of the guys that I made friends with at the local bar I would go to at the end of the night, and they would all be like, "Oh, you're from America. You have guns. You all have guns," and like. Because of the release of like pop culture, Bowling
Right.
for Columbine was playing over there at the time.
Mm.
This was back in like 05 or something like that. But it was like, you know, there's that concept of that's what it is in America.
Well, do we know what this did? So this kid got into like a gun safe and walked out with a gun. Was it his gun? Did he like?
Yeah, I mean,
don't
I'm
think it
not
was his
seeing.
gun.
I'm seeing some. I'm seeing some bully links and stuff in here, but I mean, I'll
Yeah,
try
I
to
didn't
look for
see
it
it.
now.
I'm gonna look for it
It's
now.
okay. Yeah, I'll look it up.
But
and
you
grab
guys,
it.
so you guys,
can go.
as you're looking it up, I'm going to say you guys are teachers
Yeah.
who have children who are in school.
It was in Virginia
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
gotta be
Yeah, I got
Gotcha.
a 9-year-old boy in school, man. So I mean,
It's scary.
yeah,
as shit.
that-
It's
yeah.
scary as shit, right?
I don't know. It's fucked up what happened,
Here
but
we go.
I'm not like worried about
9mm.
I don't know. I'm not worried about somebody doing that in my
Yeah, you're not worried about
in
it.
my kid's school. Yeah,
okay.
I'm worried about someone still shooting up the school. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
that's definitely
His teacher was
anywhere.
25 years old.
Teacher was 25.
So he said without warning, took the gun out without warning and shot once at 25-year-old teacher who was
my
teaching
God.
the first grade class at the time.
God damn, whatever happened to
I don't know.
just,
Abigail. Is this?
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up and going to
Yeah, or
Yeah.
crying or something like that.
she's critically wounded. Yeah. January
Well, I hope she's okay. And
Said
Now,
they,
what-
they
when-
said that the gun had a trigger lock and that the family had always been into responsible gun ownership.
clearly.
So the parent is getting locked up now,
And it was
is getting
stored
murder
on a
charge?
top shelf of a closet in the mother's bedroom. He said the family doesn't
Oh.
know how the
That's
child
cat.
got a
That's
hold
cat.
of it.
That shit was sitting right
There's
there in the
half of-
fucking. That shit was
Yeah.
sitting right there next to his.
It's a misdemeanor.
next to his
it's a
Rubik's Cube or
misdemeanor in
some shit.
Virginia to leave a loaded gun accessible to a child under the age of 14.
damn, Virginia, what the fuck? It doesn't- Well,
That shit was sitting right there in the thermos little.
Well, we needed our muskets ready when they were invading.
well, I would. So a couple of
Spider-Man.
things. He is one. What are we doing with the parents? Right? What are we doing with the parents? The parents got to be on the hook for a lot of stuff.
That's crazy.
Two, I think for a 6-year-old to get up above the closet and do. I mean, that's
That's not happening, man.
a tough one.
that
That's
shit
a
was
tough.
sitting
That's a
out
tough
somewhere,
one.
man. Right.
That's
by
where
the
my
front door
mom
or
kept
something.
our Christmas presents, so I knew how to get up there.
You know how to get up there?
Yeah.
You were about that life, huh?
You look like a little slippery little critter.
But it was WWF wrestling figurines. It wasn't a Glock.
Well, they was shit. You could kill somebody with one of them, dog. They was unbreakable. They was strong as fuck. You hit them a few times, especially that Superfly Snicker.
No, but
All
you're
right.
right. The relationship with the parent and the teacher have to be talking.
But yeah, that parent. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get a charge for.
They have to. They
leaving
have
that-
to, right?
yeah,
That's
you-
accomplice.
You can't leave the glizzy out
Yeah.
just chilling like that, man.
can't.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about this the other episode, and I mentioned it last night. I was did a set at a place, and we're talking about how there was a couple in the audience who had 11 and 12-year-old, and they left them at home without a babysitter. And I was like, oh yeah. And then we were researching it for a past episode about like, oh, when can you leave your kid home alone? Do you know legally what the age you're allowed to leave your kid home alone?
When they stop crying about being home alone.
That's right. And there is no on the law books. There is no age. You're allowed to leave them home
Oh,
at whatever happens while you're out, you're liable for.
Yeah, you just don't want them bitching, and you don't want them fucking up your shit while you're
Fucking
gone.
shit.
That's pretty much
Turning on the oven and shit like
realm
that.
That's
right
what
there. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't fuck up my shit, and you okay?
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
good,
mean,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
would've-
we
Well, that's
got
when they
those
start
too, and-
exploring. That might be
Yeah,
when
we
they
got
had
that.
the time to find those things.
So I got a question for the teachers. All right, both you gentlemen are teachers, both you gentlemen are parents. You got a kid and you see they're acting a certain way. Do you reach out directly to the parent and say, "I'm concerned your kid is acting like X, Y, and Z"?
Oh yeah.
Do you just be, so you would just be like, "Yo, your kid's acting like someone who may do violence to a lot of other kids"? You would just flat out say that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
we don't know if they're gonna kill somebody, but there is some kids in there. It's just like, hey, we gotta watch them. But I teach high school. I used to teach elementary, and I mean, there were some kids that just got bullied, or sometimes like you still want to watch them because they're pissed off at everybody, but never thought anybody would come in with a gun.
Right.
But in high school, you have those real threats. These kids really have access to guns and might know how to really use them, and that's a little different when you're dealing with that type of anger. And
Yeah.
they getting bullied at a time. You know what I mean? They just going through puberty. They dealing with real
Right.
shit.
Well,
Right.
that
Yeah.
part of their brain hasn't developed to make, that the executive functioning skills in their brain are lacking. They're not thinking out things or scenarios like a chess match. They're playing checkers,
exactly.
well, to your question, so if I saw a kid that was acting, depends on what it was. One, I would try to have a conversation with that kid and redirect and model. If I noticed that I wasn't connecting and that kid was just not getting the point of whatever his actions were or her actions were, what we have at my school is what's called the student assistant program or a RAP referral. And so I have a form. I can go down to this thing and say, hey, I noticed this behavior is here. They were a little alarming. And now we have a child study team that meets every week. And they would shoot out a questionnaire to all that kids'
Not shoot out.
teachers.
Yeah,
Whoa,
why you gotta
now,
word
hey
it like
now.
that, Mo?
They would kindly send out a request, and now everybody fills out this form. Are they noticing any of these behaviors? Blah blah blah.
Anybody else see him drawing machine guns with
And so
saying
it's kind of
Mr.
nice.
Yoder
Yeah,
next to
right.
it?
Because as a teacher, like I have 300 kids I'm like interacting with. Like, so it's nice that it's like not just my job. Like I see something, I say something, but now there's a system in place to like get data from all the other people who see this kid in a day.
Well, collectively, between you two, would you tell a parent, hey, your kid seems a little violent or your kid seems a little... Are parents going, oh my gosh, thank you for letting me know. We're going to handle this. Or you getting the blow off? Like everything's fine. You don't know what goes on here. How does the run of the mill parent react when you say something like, yo, I think
Well, now I mean, you got parents now that question the teacher. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're just trying to protect their house now, and the dynamic has changed. So sometimes they might say, "Oh, well, what happened? What made him shoot somebody today?" You know
you're
what I mean?
Not, you're not a professional.
like,
How
they're like,
dare
yeah.
you
with
diagnose
that
my
shit.
kid?
What made him stomp that little girl in the face?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yo,
Did he get his yogurt?
and then you had to get it. It almost sounds like you have to raise the parent
Yeah,
and like bring them
Well,
like
I need to
teach
make
them
sure I
how
have
to-
a rapport with that parent, because if I feel like when we start that phone conversation or we start that conference and I don't feel like we've not met some middle ground where like either we had some nicety in the beginning or something, if I feel like I don't know how they're going to
Nicety.
react.
yeah, I like that.
You know,
That's
if I don't
some
feel like
nicety.
I had like some like joke I cracked to break the tension of the building
Yeah.
and like we're all together meeting about their kid, if I feel like they're on the guard and they're on the defensive, then I might hold off and say to my principal, hey, can we have a conversation together with them so that it's not a he said, she said scenario? Because you got to, as a teacher, you're supposed to take notes. Like if I have a phone conversation, I should also be taking down notes, or sometimes teachers will send an email because it'll timestamp it, like an email to themselves. That'll be like, oh, I called so-and-so, I talked to
Oh,
Mrs.
and then they put that
Daniels
in a little
today.
personals folder.
And then I'll put it in a little email to myself because I'll timestamp it. And that way, if something comes back and they say, oh, I talked to the teacher and he was trying to diagnose my kid and you got to fire him because it's not his job, I at least now have some semblance of that. But if I feel like I'm getting any pushback from, and I never do, like usually I can build rapport with that parent. I get it. So I hope I could build enough rapport with the parent, but there are some parents, like he said, they're going to mama bear, papa bear mode, and they're protecting the home. Even if their kid is in the wrong,
They
they're gonna
might come
fight
out with a
tooth and nail.
lawsuit out of that shit
Yep.
and win. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, wait, what? I mean, yeah. So that's a lot, man.
I feel like there's a lot of walking on egg. I feel like walking on eggshells sometimes. Like,
I mean, yeah.
depending on
If you really like, I'm just starting to find out about how much schools get sued. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of
Is there
lawsuits.
a lot of lawsuits that go?
Well,
See, I know nothing about it.
my wife
Yeah.
works in special education, and so that's a big one where because they have she has to write as a teacher what's called an individual education plan, which says that these are because of the
IEP.
diagnosis, because of the deficiency that this student has that he can't help or she can't help. These are the accommodations. These are the step stools we build in so that they have access and equity to learning. And so it's perfect. It's part of the
IEP is a motherfucker, man. You can't even kick kid out of school no more because they got this IEP stamp on them. Some of them really need it, but it's just some badass kids out there that ain't been disciplined right. They need to.
It's like
it's
the
like-
insanity.
They need to be stomped the fuck out by the other little kid. That's what need to happen.
Yep.
It's like the
And,
insanity
like,
plea
You
of
need to
the-
get
of
stuffed
the
in a
child,
locker,
right?
maybe.
Yes. We need some of them. I mean, some bullies are part of the ecosystem.
Well, that's it. Well, that's another thing.
That's fucked up, but it is kind of it is true as part of.
What if we had no bullies, bro? Like none. Like
that's
nah,
a
man.
good
That's just,
question.
that wouldn't be school. That
Well,
wouldn't be,
yeah, that's what
that
like I
wouldn't
feel
be
like growing up. That's what your uncles
Yeah.
were. They were your bullies. So, like, be like, what are you doing?
I
Knock some
condone
sense
them,
into
but
them.
I'm saying, like,
No, that's actually a point. Like it is
Yeah.
part of the balance of life.
Well, how do you
'Cause
learn
there's bullies
social
when you're
norms? That's
growing up.
almost like when you learn social norms, or like when you learn how to act. The culture of a place. The culture is just how we act in a place.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes those things are perceived as bullies, but they're just trying to course correct so that we're all on the same page.
there it is, man. It's adversity, man. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
That's all.
It's true.
You need
a
it.
little
Right
bit
when
of-
I was a kid, when I was younger, you had a bully. You either stayed away from the bully, you got really close with the bully, so you thought you were protected by the bully, or you fought the bully.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it. Those are the options that you had, and I know, but bullying is in the forefront of everything now.
Well, yeah, and you got to be careful. Like bullying too. It's like it's like a repeated. I was looking up the definition. It's like a repeated harassment where there is an imbalance of power.
Right.
Right, where one kid is clearly in a position of power and the other kid is clearly has no chance. It'd be like the Yankees playing my daughter's t-ball team, like no shot. So it's got to be an imbalance of power, and it has to be repetitive. It has to be something that's happening over
And it's usually
over.
imbalance of power on the bullies' part too. They really missing some love or some shit like that.
Well, that's it. They're
Somewhere
projecting.
else.
Yeah,
bullies,
exactly.
bullies
You know,
really, really taking on some shit.
They're trying to
somewhere
get
else.
And they
They
taking
want
that
to
shit
put it
out
on
there.
someone else. They
My
don't-
mama ain't give me gummy bears like you, bitch.
Yeah.
Give me your fucking gummy bears.
It is, but you're right. Like some of it's like what's the average of childhood, and we all should experience stuff. But some of it's Trump. I remember being in middle school, and like because my last name was Yoder, they would call me Oder.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be damned if I didn't have like 10.
Oh, I'm never
extra
forgetting
rank
that now, bro. I'm never. You are Jay Oder for the rest
Dude,
of
Oder,
everything, man.
that's-
Oh my gosh.
I carry deodorant with me everywhere.
That's Oder.
Oder,
I never
Jay
did that. I
Oder.
never- you such a nice guy. I never thought about saying that
Dude,
to you
well,
now.
until you see your name etched in a
In a
wooden
desk
desk
with Oder.
that says Oder is gay.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh.
somebody took time. They Andy Dufresne this desk. They sat there with a spork, just
Andy
carving it
Dufresne.
out
Oh, yeah.
months and months to get this message
That's
in
cold,
there.
man. That's cold.
That's cold. Like they could have sent 1,000 tweets in the time that.
Well,
they
let me
did
ask you a
that.
question though. When you were younger and you were getting bullied and dealing with the odor and whatever, were you bullied when you were younger? You probably weren't
Yeah, I
bullied,
got
huh?
called church.
church. Okay,
Yeah,
do you have a
because I
religious
went
family?
to church a lot, and
Okay.
my dad was a preacher.
Okay.
Yeah. They just
I
called
mean-
me church.
But did you? Was it a? Yeah, that is not.
No,
that's good.
hey, that was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
But like, did
It really hurt my street cred.
Did you feel a deep burn when you were getting?
Oh,
Like,
no,
did you
I ain't
feel like,
feel
oh, this hurts, and I don't want it to hurt like this anymore, and I'm gonna want to hurt somebody in return? Or did you just feel like, well, I do kind of smell. I could understand, or my family does go to church.
First of all, I
or
didn't smell. Can we get on the
They wouldn't have
record?
called you odor if you
I
didn't
didn't
smell a little
smell.
bit. Let's be honest. These kids are not
Albert,
lying.
you're an asshole.
I did
He
not-
just implied.
First off, I don't.
I'm siding with the bully. I always side with
I'm
the bully.
having trauma right now. I'm having flashbacks. No, I mean, I know for me, like it made, like I said, every bag I had was my gym bag, my book bag, my basketball bag, had a stick of deodorant in it, and it was like silly because it wasn't. It was because my name was Yoder, and that was a weird name in Scranton. It's It's not anywhere near Lancaster. So they were hanging on to that. And then they were like, oh, it's the 90s, so we can call people gay too. So Yoder is gay. I'm like, newsflash, I'm the only one in my family not gay. So you got it wrong. Yeah. I was like,
But it didn't hurt you. But it didn't hurt you. Oh, it did hurt you.
Oh my God, yeah. It affected like me going into school the next day,
Really?
not wanting to be in the locker room with guys or like, I
man,
felt like
and it's crazy, man. Like that really be fucking with kids, and that's the beauty of comedy, man. You know what I mean? We get to get up there and embrace all of our faults and self-deprecation and all that shit. And like, I mean, since I'm teaching comedy now at the school, like I'm telling the kids to just talk about all the shit that people fucking roast you on.
Right.
Like that's the first thing you should
that's
talk
how you
about.
diffuse a bully.
Like, and
take
I mean,
away that.
now they listen to everything else he said. You know what I mean? Like after that, and that shit is dead, bro. This one kid I ain't gonna say his name, but his name Henry, and his his head is like shaped like triangular, and they was calling him like Dorito chip face and pizza face and like everything triangular. They was just hitting him with bugle.
You're
like,
yeah.
But then he got up there in front of the whole school and said this shit like, yo. Yeah, my face is like this. It's triangular. I look like a pizza. I got Dorito face. And everybody fucking cracked the fuck up. And now you can't call him that shit.
Now it's over. Now it's played out.
Because he already did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he showed that he doesn't care. You know what I mean? About
that's a fucking empowering moment. That's a beautiful thing. That's a very empowering. Like
that's how you take away the power.
Your words
you
cannot hurt me anymore.
Power.
There's nothing left there. Now you see a change in his demeanor in school and like his attitude and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, nah. He's still a weirdo because that's who he is. But people don't bully him on that anymore. They don't say, yo, you know what I mean? You got that going on. They might try to find something else, but there's a new found of respect because he has more confidence. And people look to him for humor now. Yeah, so everybody can't do that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
everybody
a very good
funny.
point. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you can, you can embrace whatever the fuck. If you fat, all right, I'm fat. What else? You know what I mean? I got a big head.
Right.
Okay, what else you got?
Next.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm short, whatever. You know what I mean? Like
that's that 8 Mile effect. That's what Rabbit did in 8 Mile. He said, he took and
use
killed
that as
it.
the ammunition. Have you guys have you guys had any instances where your kids have said that they've been bullied or picked on yet?
Oh hell yeah! I got kids, a few. Oh, my own kids.
No,
your
your
own
kids.
Yeah, hell yeah. My son, man, one time, man, he got some kid just randomly came up to him, and he's a 4th grader, and he was in the 2nd grade. He just walked up and was like, "Hey, you want to fight?" And my son just says, "Okay." And this is like in transition, coming from lunch, going to his classroom, and they fight. You know what I mean? Like out of the blue, but he didn't really want to fight. Like he thought he was like playing, but the kid just. Didn't even know him. He just walked up to him always. Hey, you want to fight? So yeah, and I had to talk with him after that, and he was like, "Yo, son, next time that happens, man, I want you to bite his nose till blood gets out of his fucking face, and make sure you got his blood on your face to show everybody else." Yes. Yeah, I think that scared him a little bit more, but yeah.
Did your son? What were the results of the fight? Was it someone get beat up or just?
No,
like
it was like I think it was like 2 punches or something like that.
And then it was done.
Yeah, I think he punched back, but he didn't get a good punch. He said.
He's like kills you. Yeah, he did a good punch.
Yeah, and that was it. And that was his first fight.
That was it. And
what
are your thoughts on the?
His only fight, as far as I know.
What are your thoughts on the fight? You feel like that was good for him, bad for him? You indifferent?
Nah, it was good. I mean, yeah, you need to know that people will punch you in the fucking face out here, and this world is dangerous. Really?
I think it is good to know that people will punch you in the face, and you either going to be the type of dude to punch a motherfucker back, or you're going to be the type of dude to stay away from people
and
who
next
punch
time
you in the
someone
face.
says, "Hey, you want to fight?" You'll
now you
make
know.
a clear
Now you
decision.
know.
You'll say, "You know what? I'm gonna pass on this one," or "Yay, let's go."
Right. I've been in this situation. I know how this ends. You're going to fucking swing at me. I don't think it's the worst thing to get in a little bit of a fight.
No, it's not. I mean, for the people that get in their fights in their fucking 20s for your first time,
that's not the fight.
That's not cool. Yeah, that's not a good time to fight.
Or to be 30-something, to be 30-something years old.
You need therapy after that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna need you're gonna need some help.
Or to be walking out of a club and you get a fight out front of a club. You're 34 years old. You're fighting in the street.
Elementary is where it all goes down, man.
That's why I just think about what the thing like because so then that the school handled it. He told you about it, and then that was it. It was like
that was it.
So like because I wondered like
and
too
made
like
up and stuff
if
like
it repeatedly happens, if it is bullying, then that scenario would have kept happening. Right. And then you're like, well, then what do you do? Do you have the school handle?
Oh, I gotta step in there. I gotta see Dad.
You gotta
You
go.
gotta see
I
Dad?
gotta
You
see
gonna call
Dad.
Dad?
Yeah, I don't even want mom. I want to see Dad.
Okay.
And I don't care if he's not in his life or not. It's just, where's
You
this
can go
motherfucker?
find.
Yeah.
You can help the kid
Yeah,
out. You
I
can
need,
go find
I
the
need
kid.
somebody else to beat up.
Because I wonder how I would handle that. You know what I mean? Like, do you go to the parents at that point? You
yeah,
gotta.
this can't keep happening over and over again. So yeah, you do. There does have to be some type of
Yeah.
intervention with the parent, and I mean, and find out what's going on in the classroom too. You know what I mean? Why is this happening? Is the teacher lacking? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's
That's a
happening?
good point. Is
Yeah.
the teacher not because the teacher should pick up on what's going
They're
on in
not
the classroom
present or
and
they're
should
not
be like,
paying
yo,
attention. Yep.
Exactly.
why are you talking to him like that?
Why are they
why are
left?
you saying that?
It's like aberrant behavior. He just like saw a movie, saw a guy walk up and said, "You want to fight?" Like, and just did it. You know what I mean? Like weird shit like that.
It's a few different factors.
But I bet you your son has a respect to the kid from the older class because he said he want to fight and they got in a fight. And
Yeah,
he
I was
back.
glad he didn't run or anything like
Uh-huh.
that. That was cool. But I think he didn't run because he thought
He
it was
didn't
like a
know
game.
what was going
Yeah,
on.
he thought, oh,
What's
whoa,
happening?
okay,
Yeah,
like, this what
yeah.
they do up here? Okay.
That's how they do it.
Yeah,
Doing like that?
Like, ow, this really hurts. This
Holy
game is
shit, that's-
this game is hurting, man. This
With
is-
girls, it's a different beast though, because you also have a daughter, right?
yeah, I got a 15-year-old daughter. She
shit.
hasn't ever gotten into a fight.
That's good.
Yeah, thank God. Or now she goes to a mixed school though, over in Jersey, and it's a small percentage of black people there, and so yeah, she deals with that. And I'm just trying to keep her head up on any kind of subliminal little jokes and shit like that or
So
whatever.
is that what she's saying? Like,
Yeah,
that come home like little jokes?
Nah, she hasn't said she's not going through it yet, but I'm pretty sure something probably went over her head or something like that.
That she didn't quite get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, you're going to get it, but just know where it's coming from and know who you are. That's the most
See
important.
that know who you are. That's a
Yeah.
big one.
That's
See, I
it.
grew up. I was in northeastern PA, and I had about 4 really good friends. All the black kids in the school. We all hung out together. We played sports together and stuff. And the majority of everybody else was white, right? And they were very, very phenomenal white people. Very good white people. Like, it wasn't like all white people are bad, but we would hear shit. People would say shit. And one of the things we had was like we had our clique. We had our little posse. And it was like, nah, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, we always had the support of someone that'd be like, fuck him. Fuck them. And if shit was gonna go down, we always had the support of like, okay, I'll ride with you, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like having someone, if you were like the only one, like the only black kid, Asian kid, Puerto Rican, and you had to deal with that, I think the outcome would be very, very different if you had no one else to be like, man, you believe what this motherfucker said to me?
Yeah.
Like having that is strong. But I know what you're talking about. Like, it's gonna happen.
So
gonna happen.
exactly, yeah. So I mean, at the same time, I mean, if it does happen, cool. But she has had some interactions already, where I go through her phone and shit every once in a while, and yeah, every once in a
Dude,
while. You know what I mean?
well, my kids
Yeah.
don't have a phone yet, but like
Yeah.
That's
those are
responsible
the things
parenting. I ain't
that-
even hating on that.
I do, and I read the text and shit. Man, I pull up.
Now, is that the
one
same as
text.
reading a diary? What do you think?
Huh? Oh hell, yeah, it's kind of. Is
that fair game?
It's almost deeper than that because you're seeing real interactions.
You're
with,
seeing the
with
whole
other people.
interaction, not the
exactly.
one-sided version.
Yeah.
So I found out she doesn't curse on her texts. I didn't see any fucks or bitches or
Okay,
anything like
that's
that.
good, right?
Alright.
But she hit one of her friends off with her friend like invited her to like a 4th of July cookout, and she was like, "No, I don't celebrate that." She's like, I celebrate Juneteenth now, and that's it. I was like, oh shit, that's my baby. Yeah. But yeah, it caused a little rift between her and her friend and shit like that, and they ended up not being cool, which is cool because her dad's fucking racist and shit.
You don't like that
him.
friend
Yeah,
anyway?
he's like, the friend was cool, but the dad I ain't fuck with. So the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So I'm glad she got.
Well, it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good that they worked out. But I would be so nervous to find something that, was like, imagine if you like stumbled upon something.
I was,
Oh, my
bro,
God.
I was scared.
Yeah,
scrolling,
Oh,
but
yeah, your
Dude.
thumbs are shaking, right?
It
You're
could have
like,
been
oh, shit,
anything in
yeah,
there, bro.
yeah,
It could have
you
been.
never know.
It could have been an AR-15 in there or something.
Yeah, I was
don't
like,
know. Yeah,
it's nervous.
next
Like,
to a dildo or something. I don't know.
Oh
but,
my God.
Yeah, but I ain't
exactly.
seen none of that. Yeah,
That's
so
good.
it was cool.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
I'm like, and mine are so young. Like, and my oldest, we talked about this before. My oldest is autistic, and so I know, there's people like either making comments
Some
because
slick shit
she's
to
like,
say, yeah.
like because she's smart. Like, she's a smart girl. Like, she taught herself to read it too. Like, but when it comes to social cues, that girl is blind as a bat. Like, so my hope is that some of it goes over her head, but I also know it's harder for her to just fit in naturally and like some of those pieces that I know she's gonna get bullied, but at the same time, I know she'll kind of stand up for herself. So it's kind of like, you can't worry. But I can't worry myself because I could create so many scenarios that, I've seen Michael Rappaport had put a post out about a girl who was autistic, who had a bunch of her like second or third grade friends get her to just sleep over. And then they took her phone and verbally abused her and like made her like knew her buttons to push. Cause like my daughter goes into they go into like over sensory load. And so they almost like got them to push her buttons so much that she was like having a meltdown, but kept her away from being able to contact anybody to tell. Like, it was like brutal, the story. And so it makes my heart break for like how insidious that is, that these girls are getting
Girls
off
are
on.
fucking
Oh man,
mean. Like, that's
they
what I
mean.
mean.
On the group chats too.
Girls
bro.
are mean.
On social media.
It's like brutal.
On group chats.
It's almost
it's
like
like 30 of
I
them
wish they just
in
punch him
one
in the
group
face.
chat.
Just fight and get over with it.
I say it all the time. We lied to ourselves. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Words will never harm me. Bullshit.
Yeah.
The words will follow you around for the rest of your life. You could be 40 years old before you defeat the words. A black eye goes away in a week and a half, 3 weeks. You know what I mean? You good.
Yeah, I just had to sit here and listen to Al Davis say I smell. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I had
but that'll
passed
go
that.
away.
Hey man,
No, but those
We
words.
pause for you to cry and
we're gonna
everything.
pause.
I embrace church. I embrace church.
That wasn't a bull, dude.
Yeah,
You were not bullied.
Oh, man.
That is not a bully.
You don't know about being church in the hood, bro. In the project,
that's
where nobody had a family and a dad and a mom in the same house, and we had that. And everybody in the hood envied this shit and look at it. It's like, fuck you and your mom and your dad and your fucking Cosby Show house.
Church motherfucker.
We live in the projects with y'all. What the hell, yo? Like,
Yep.
So, it was a lot of
household.
yeah, and
Nuclear family,
and going to
motherfucker.
church every fucking Sunday and
Right.
fucking being in the choir and shit, and
smiling and being happy and shit.
Yo, motherfuckers ain't like that shit, bro.
No, they don't.
They ain't like that shit. They had a different upbringing. They had some crackhead parents and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was there was a lot of adversity.
Right.
And
You
with-
walking out all nice with the
coming
church,
in with
the
church
looking
church
good.
suits on and
Got
shit.
the nice haircut going and shit. Everyone's like, man, fuck that
Fuck
nigga.
you,
Yeah.
pussy, with your
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
suit.
Well, they don't have that. They don't have their model. That's what the bully we were talking about earlier. You know?
Yeah.
It's actually a good segue for us to get into like our dad of the week. Do we have usually what we like to do is highlight someone in our lives or someone, it could be a celebrity, whatever, that you think is a model of you've seen being a good dad. So like I'll go first. I have a good buddy of mine. His name's Brad Lamison. Like my daughters call him Uncle Brad.
Brad Lamison?
Brad Lamison.
Oh, Brad
I thought you said
Lamison.
Rad, too.
Rad. I was like,
Lamison
damn,
better
it
be a
sound like
good ass
Brad.
dad.
cool
Oh, yeah.
ass motherfucker.
Brad.
Brad
He's
Lamison.
actually a teacher. He's
Rad
an elementary
Brad.
teacher, but he's
Yeah.
like a real dude. Like he loves those kids as his own. He like breaks down that wall. There is no like I'm the teacher, the student. Like we're family. He just had his dad pass away from Parkinson's last week.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah,
That
but
hurts.
despite all of that, he maintains. He has a son who's not far from here at Temple.
Okay.
And another son who's a junior in high school, and just getting to watch him be a dad and his dad, like for me was great. That's the kind of stencil I needed to see for myself to judge myself by, like to compare myself by, because you need real examples. Like we all watch dads like Cliff Huxtable and some of those out there that with Danny Tanner,
Tim
all
the
that
Two-Man
nonsense
Turner.
to him. But like when you see real people walking that walk, and Brad for me is someone who walks that walk.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah. Well, damn, I guess so, man. Damn, who walks that walk for me, man? I guess that's a couple guys I know, man. Damn, who really does it though? Like, damn, there's a lot of fucked up dads I know.
You have one now?
Yeah, I know. Fuck
Oh,
them.
mine's generic as fuck, but I'm gonna say it. I put Del Curry. Okay. But then I started thinking, any parents who raises two professional athletes, that's insane.
So Steph, who's the other?
Steph and Seth.
Oh, Seth.
The Morris brothers from Philly, Markeith and Marquise Morris. The Berries were brothers. Yo, if you get two children to be professional athletes, I think that's like hitting the
It's like
power.
King
I mean,
Richard stuff going on.
That's
over there.
insane. That's
Yeah.
to get one.
Did you watch King Richard? Did you watch King Richard?
King Richard
Yeah,
was a shit.
yeah.
He was on
Two
the kid's
of them.
ass.
Two
He
of
was
them.
on there. He ain't give a
Driving
damn
that
about
van
nothing.
around
Yeah.
and like
He ain't
having
give
to
a damn
get in
about
that
nothing
fight.
but
Oh
tennis,
my God.
bro. Like,
Yeah, that's fucking. You have two that are that good at something.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is insane to me how you can create that. Like, John Jones and his brothers. I mean, two of them are football players. One of them's a UFC champion. That's insane. That's hard to do.
And it takes a lot of time with your daughters or your sons.
Yeah,
you,
you
know what I mean?
drive
So-
in here, you driving there, you
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
tennis balls, more. I got another racket, getting more shoes. You know, financially, that's got to cost you
It's a sacrifice.
$150,000.
Sacrifice of yourself for them.
Yeah, then you got two of them that were so good that they're professional athletes. I think that's just insane.
Yeah, because I mean, anybody who has kids that go to that far in any
Yeah.
sport, like you know how many time they were at AAU tournaments, passing here, going
Yeah,
there.
who the fuck you think's driving
You
them
know.
to New Hampshire on a Monday morning? You know,
or
on a
barging
Saturday
in
morning?
and getting them an
Yeah.
opportunity that like
Yeah.
when King Richard in the movie, when he barged in and he's like, hey, Pete Sampras and like John Mack are playing, and he's like trying to get that coach to be their coach, or
Yeah.
like the balls that he had to have to
But I
go
also
there.
heard that the mom was just as influential in the kids' lives.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about that.
That's
but
Venus
the
and
mom
Serena
was,
you talking?
she's a fucking tennis player. And
She was a
yeah.
tennis player.
That's
Yeah,
they really
and
downplayed her in that movie. Now
And
that you
then
mention that.
she's not even like mentioned at all in there. It's all about King
Wow.
Richard.
It
But
was.
she's an
I mean,
athlete
she was
as
in
well.
there, but it wasn't to
yeah,
that
and
degree.
it's just like she did a lot of motherly things too, of course. But
Well,
yeah,
right,
she-
yeah. You know, the
she got
mother,
down, yeah.
she's making the food, making the sandwiches, doing. I shouldn't. Maybe that was stereotypical.
That
making
was
the
stereotypical.
food. Making
I
the
hope
sandwich.
everybody
but
heard that.
Look, there's a front line and there's a back line, and Mom was on the back line getting that hustling.
Yeah,
I'm
she
not
was
hating on Mom.
assistant coach. She was an assistant coach.
Exactly.
Dude, my mom was both of my I was different, but my mom was the catcher. She'd wear the cup just so I knew where to put it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. All right, did you? What about you?
Oh shit! I probably say my own father, man.
That's
my
a
dad,
beautiful
man.
fucking
That's
answer.
it.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
beautiful
He
answer.
wasn't perfect, man, but he definitely
Preacher.
bust his ass for us. Yeah, first he was a minister, and also like he taught like at AA meetings and stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
there you go. Change
he
your
counseled
lives.
people with AIDS and shit. Did stuff at the hospital and stuff like that. And I got to see all of that. You know what I mean? As a kid, he was always home all the time. You know what I mean? Like always present. And yeah, man, heavy on discipline and shit like that, education. And
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
You know, being in the same household as your old man, and he's teaching you how to be a man and a father. That's it right there. That's the one. That's a win for life.
yeah, I mean, he definitely, you know, he fucked up a whole bunch of different areas.
Everyone's-
But you know, as I look back at all the fathers that I know personally, yeah, he's probably about the best. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no Wizard of Oz. There's just a bunch of men behind a curtain. You know what I mean? Like, but
Just trying.
But like at the same time, yeah, it's the effort. That's what we were talking about in a past episode. Like even the parents who like maybe aren't as active in their kid's life, like that kid still wants you, even if you're. Because I think sometimes if parents haven't been around for a while, then they start thinking, oh, well, I can't start now. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can. You can
Yeah.
start right
Yeah,
now.
Now's a
You
great
can,
time to
like,
start.
Exactly,
This
yeah.
moment right now that you're missing, seize it. You know, like that kind of thing. So
And it sounds like for you, your father's influence helped mold you to who you are today.
Oh, definitely,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Just
Because you
seeing
work
him,
with the youth, you helping people. I mean, that's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom also. My mom, she's a daycare teacher.
There you go. Shout out to mom. Can't leave
yeah,
mom
so
out. Shout out
mom's
to
a
mom.
daycare teacher, father's a preacher, and like Emerzo, so you got.
what do they think of
what I
your
do now.
stand up? What do
Huh?
they think about you doing?
Oh, I mean, my dad, he doesn't know I do it at all because he's
That's a
dead.
lie.
Oh, he's dead. Oh my God.
He's Wait, what camera do I?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, nah,
before you ever did
he
stand
died. He died like 25 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
But rest in peace, pops. But my mom, she likes that I do it. She's just like, hey, is God laughing? That's a thing.
Yeah.
But but other than
once
that,
in a while,
she's
right?
been to a few shows. She loves it. So
awesome.
yeah, it's cool. I brought her out to
How
a
about
few
your
studios
kids?
and stuff like that. Yeah. Huh?
Have your kids been to any shows?
Yeah, my kids, they've done some improv. Yeah, I was teaching at Philly Improv Theater.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And they got to participate in some kid comedy and some kid improv there.
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun.
Yeah. it was
So
awesome.
they've seen a set or two. of
Oh
yours,
yeah,
or-
yeah. Oh, they've seen my actual set. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
been to clean shows and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're totally bored.
Yeah.
At the
Oh,
shows.
yeah, it's not
They're
just
because it's
enthused
you.
at all.
Because it's dad or they don't
Yeah,
like comedy?
because it's me, and
that's what it is.
and then people were coming up to him, "Hey, you want to be a little comedian like your dad?" And like, "Fuck out of here!"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they-
I had to come. I had to come because no one would
Sure.
watch
They're like,
me
yeah, I'm
tonight.
here. I want to get home. I want to, and watch Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of get into our last segment where we just kind of highlight a little bit about you. You know, you've told us a little bit, but yeah, so you have two kids.
Me, man, yeah, I got 2 kids. I got Mila. Shout out to Mila and
Hey.
Lamar. Mila, 15.
Hey.
Mara's 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, man. What about them?
No, so yeah, so just yeah, like, so are you like Because, like, for example, I have the wife and the kids at home.
Yeah.
Al is a custody parent. Like,
I do not have my kids
are you
24/7.
married?
Okay. Oh no. So I'm not with my kid's mom.
Okay.
They're over in Jersey and living comfortably over there, not too far from me. So I get them on weekends. Sometimes during the middle of the week, me and my daughter we work out and shit like that.
I've seen you post on Planet Fitness and stuff.
Yeah. And little activities here and there, but mainly on the weekends I get them and just dropped them off actually before I came here. And
You're on my schedule. You're on my schedule. I do the same thing.
And you have a good relationship with the mom, all that stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about planning about stuff.
Was that always the case, or what? Because I mean,
there was a time just had to text. You know what I mean? There was sometimes hey, you go through the phases, but now yeah, I can call and say, hey, are you going to be around here, or is this cool, or how they doing at school, or how's this behavior? I can check.
My daughter lives in New Jersey also. One thing I gotta say, I love the New Jersey public schools. I'm gonna keep it real. New Jersey public schools, where my daughter goes, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
If she was in Philadelphia, we'd have to spend a lot of money to get her an equivalent education.
And that's why I'm glad. Where I'm at, didn't want her to go to school in Chester, PA, or Philly. Any of those schools, some of them are shitty. So I'm glad she's over there with her mom at that school, and they're having a great school district over there.
Because people will ask me, like, is it tough? And like, look, I would love to be able to see my daughters every day, and I can with FaceTime and stuff, right? But being able to go to a good school, get a good education, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah,
and they get that in Jersey in the public school system. So shout out to New Jersey public school, at least South Jersey anyway. You know what I mean?
Except for Camden.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, what about so growing up? So your dad died, you said 25 years ago. How old were you at that point?
Oh man, I was in college, man. I was 18 years old. It was my first year in college, and when I found out he died, I threw a chair. But I thought you were supposed to throw a chair when you found out your dad died. I really did it. I was like, ah!
Yeah.
And, I felt nothing out of that. I got nothing out of that. But my dad died. I was kind of prepared for it. He was sick for like the year.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know he was going to check that year, but his health was.
Were you able to finish school and again didn't mess with your studies, or
that I fucked up in college because I didn't go there for the right thing. I went there for computer science, and what the fuck was that about? Just because the internet was popping, I wanted to get out the hood,
right?
And everybody was like, "Oh, go to college, yeah!" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I've done a lot of acting. I was in the theater at the time during high school. And so my theater, they were going to pay for me to go to an art school.
Nice.
And I was just like, nah, I've done so much of that shit. I'm the man already, yo. Get me out here. Get this internet bucks me and Gates, bitch. I holla at y'all. And so when I got to college, I went there for the wrong thing. And I smoked a lot of weed and failed out and went to community college and smoked some more weed and did the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then got into the rap game.
And
yeah,
then got in the rap game.
Yeah. You gotta get into the rap game after all that, bro. You gotta write about it. You gotta go.
You gotta give it a shot, right?
These motherfuckers ain't letting me into the school, saying I'm a fucking motherfucking fool. Fuck a school.
Okay.
Fuck a school. Fuck a school. Yo, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I failed at that too. Oh, okay. All right.
That's awesome. Yeah. Dude, so when you're like, so now you have. Man, 15 and an 8. I can't imagine. Could you imagine your kid being 15?
No, no, man. They grow up. Kids grow up.
Especially your
so
daughter.
Wait, how old is your kids?
8.
Oh, shit.
Mine are
8
6.
4. 8
Mine's
4.
6 and
Oh, y'all
9.
got little babies and
Little
shit.
babies, yeah.
Man, that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's going to be like a blink and they're going to be giants. They fucking 10 years is nothing. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be grown in a minute.
That's sad, B. That's so sad.
People told me that shit all the time. And I did really take advantage of all the time I had. You know what I mean? It's like, because they're going to grow up fast. And I try to enjoy every year I have with my kids, man, and try to really, you know what I mean, look at their age and where they at. Because I'm at the school and I'm looking at these other kids and how they're growing up. And I'm always thinking about, it's like, oh shit, man, my baby is going through this shit right now too. You know what I mean?
That's what I love about being a teacher, though, is I feel like we get inside info.
You got the ear to the street.
That your
You got
average
your ear to the
parent
street,
is oblivious to.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because they don't get to see what average kids look like. They just have their
and
kid.
they see this shit and they go, "Wow, you fucking crazy kid!" And it's like, no, there's some of this shit they doing is normal, bro.
It's weird for their generation, but it's normal for what's happening. That's so my wife and I both being teachers, I think, is a blessing because of that. But it's also hard, I think, being a kid of a teacher. So like I've been doing it 18 years. My wife's been doing it about 15 years. And like there's stuff like I have a bit that I've been working on now with my daughter, like, you know, where it's like you can't get away with stuff because they're stepping on landmines that 18 years of public school kids have left behind. Like, I don't deal with the lies. I don't deal with the nonsense. Because I've had so many kids give me that line. And that's the piece that
I gotta tell him too, yo, man, you know how long I've been teaching, dog? You gonna come to me with that bullshit right now, bro?
You think I'm
for real? You was just in the hallway. That's why you was late.
Yeah.
You know it's like they don't realize like I'm not. Yeah, we hear excuses all the time, so I can sniff it right out when you're lying to me. But like kids like that, like even my daughter's lie. Like we had this weird scenario. This is really weird. I didn't think I was going to be bringing this up, but my youngest started making up stories. Like she'd be coloring on the walls or doing something she wasn't supposed to, and all of a sudden we'd get her corner like, "Why did you do this?" Like Alicia can't lie. Like my older daughter, my autistic daughter, she can't lie. She will tell you the truth to a fault. And so I'm like, I know it's not her. She's like, well, the master told me to do it. I'm like, the what?
Damn.
I'm like, the master? And then she got into these elaborate stories when I started quizzing her about the master. And she's like, and like that he lives in the vents of the house. And
this is weird.
And there's like, it's like it goes deep. It's like Stranger Things going on. You right? Yeah.
This is like the start of a Shyamalan movie, 100%. 100%.
And she will double down on it and keep answering you about it. And it's
I wouldn't ask no more questions.
I stopped.
I'd be like,
asking.
you know what, the master? Okay, I'm gonna slide out of
honestly,
this.
I did. I stopped
Daddy's
asking.
cool, okay?
I stopped asking because I was like, I don't want to know the answer to this, but it's amazing what kids will, the imagination of what they'll come up with. Or do I have to entertain that there might be some paranormal activity in my house? Do I have to entertain it? Is it crazy? I know saying it was crazy, but part of me is like, that's what happens in that movie. That person thinks it's ridiculous. And that's what
how it ends up.
Your kid ever rub shit on the wall?
No, but we had a kid in our school do a smiley.
My daughter drew shit on the wall, bro. like the crayon situation. The master ain't tell her. She just felt like drawing some shit on the wall.
When you said, why did you do that? What was that?
I came in, it was like it was like a circle and a line going like straight over, like a signature or something like that, man. And I was like, yo, it's poop on I probably said shit. I probably, yo, it's shit here. Like, she was just like, she had something like on her forehead. Like,
damn.
Yeah, it was like, it was crazy, bro. It was shit everywhere.
Like she took it with the back of her thumb.
Yeah, it was like a war symbol. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
There were flies.
Definitely Lord of the Flies right there, man. Yeah, I don't know if that was common. You ain't nobody, they ain't never did that shit on the wall? Okay, all right,
on the wall.
Okay.
We had a kid at school do it, and he did a whole smiley face with it. It was
it's not
Starry Night. He did like Starry Night with shit on there.
Yeah. Wow, I can really see the artist.
Yeah, he's got potential, but his medium's a little fucked up.
Real Banksy.
A lot of upstrokes. I'm not really seeing a handle of the medium, I would say.
Yeah.
But
I once picked my daughter's shit up off the floor with my bare hand.
With your bare hand.
It just picked it up and was like, oh, "This is it."
It must have been solid though.
I was solid. I wasn't. I didn't do it.
You ain't have to do that, bro.
Cup runneth over,
really
not.
good.
But you would only do that for your kid, right?
Yep.
You just pick the shit up. You're like, I'm holding it like it's a marble.
Dude, my daughter.
were we out in public? Sorry. Does everyone? Okay, never mind. Keep rolling. I apologize. We weren't out in public, right?
We were in the bathroom. We were in the bathroom
okay.
at the place where you're supposed to put your kid on the little fold-out table and change the diaper.
Even
public bathroom.
In the men's bathroom that smells like shit, that looks like shit. You got the kid in there.
Right.
It was just a whole thing. I wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Now this makes sense.
And I was like, I just can't.
Yeah.
In
In the moment, you just grab it. Yeah. Oh,
That's the
dad
closest I
muscles.
got.
You just
That's
do
the dad
you
muscle.
do it in the moment. You get past it. I don't know.
That's it, man. Your kid, you do that shit for your own kid.
Yeah, man.
You do that shit for your own kid. You would never do that for anyone else's kid.
No,
I'm be honest.
no.
I like you, Jay. If your kid ever shit on the floor, big Jay, there's
That's your business.
So pretty soon they gonna have to do that for you.
They're gonna get.
That's
your
right.
shit,
Well, my
exactly.
mom lives with us, so it's like
You getting her?
that she's getting older. Like I'm there, like she's taking care of them, but at some point it's going to be the reverse, and they're going to be taking care of her. And we've had some things like that where we've had to help my mom out. She got like her like leg seized on the toilet toilet. Now you got to help her
Yeah.
and help her off, help her get her underwear back. You know, all that nonsense. You're like, wow, I wouldn't imagine having to do that for someone. But you have to, that's family, you know, you got to be vulnerable.
To do that,
like, you know, what I mean, that you want to be, I don't want them to have to be with some stranger. I don't want her to be in some nursing home where some strangers getting paid to do that. Like,
get your ass up, Ms. Yoder.
It's a person who's getting paid and who can only spend 2 minutes in there because they have to go do it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's it. That's
They're
not.
like on
That's
the clock like
there's
that,
a level
like,
of like.
Oh, you poop yourself again, Miss Oder.
Miss Oder. Hey, everybody, look at Miss Oder. They all come down.
They're like, yeah, it's like bullying. It's like a middle school at this point again. It's like middle school, and now it's a nursing home.
Her son's got a podcast about
Yeah, you on
parenting.
TikTok. Yo, I'm live over here with Miss Oder again, y'all. Shit. Here we go.
It's a weird OnlyFans. I don't know.
That's fucked up.
That is messed up.
That's part of being a parent.
That is. It's true. There is a lot of weird stuff that like my daughters now are like wearing They want to wear bras. I'm like,
They want to wear the bra.
So like my youngest went to a dance. My oldest went to a dance at a glow dance, and she told my wife she wanted to wear a dress and she wanted to wear a bra. And I was like, she's reading these like graphic novels about like middle school kids. So like I think because she's like ahead of the game with that, she's starting to get, and that's how she's socializing. She's
well,
like,
at least she's ahead of the game, bro. At least she ain't out there late with it and not wearing a bra.
Then
she's out there.
Yeah, but I get nervous though. We got in trouble. The teacher, we said a note come home the other day where they're like, oh, Alicia was threatening her teacher, and she said she wanted to kill her.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
they saying shit like that all the time, bro.
But now this is the same girl who patted me on the stomach last week and said, will you have a baby? So grain of salt, you know what I mean? So I asked her, so I was like, all right, well, we got to have a conversation about this. And I'm like, hey, I heard you said about Mrs. So-and-so that, you know, you wanted to kill her. I'm like, did you say that? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, why did you say that? Because I wanted to kill her. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not getting any better.
You're consistent.
And I'm like, well, do you know what that means? No. Okay, well there we
shit
go.
is loose lip. They say that shit all the time, bro.
So
They
she
be like,
heard it somewhere.
They'll say, I want to blow the school up like it's nothing now. They be like, yo, I want to kill everybody in this motherfucker. I want to, like, they'll say
but there's the difference between the
now.
6-year-old that we talked about at the beginning of this versus that one there wasn't anything said, and then all of a sudden, boom, versus this girl. Like, I would hate for someone... You know, if someone took that out of context and didn't know her, like, oh my God, this is the girl that cries if she sees anybody get a boo-boo. Like, she once accidentally stepped on a worm and cried. You know what I mean? Like, so she had read it somewhere and scripted it back. But that's the problem with her.
So
she doesn't.
She stepped on a worm and cried.
Yeah, she cried.
I would too, dog.
She ain't killing shit.
Yeah, so like she can't do that. But like, but she doesn't. She doesn't know what she's saying.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking barefoot. I don't know. I mean, was that she had a shoe on?
She had a shoe on.
I'm thinking. I don't know why I was thinking barefoot.
I was thinking barefoot too. I think that is kind of gross, going through your toes and shit. And like,
no.
Like, yeah, that'd be fucked up.
But she doesn't know what she's saying. You know, the kids sometimes they don't know what they're saying. But did that kid know what he was doing when he pulled out that 9mm? I don't know.
Man, that motherfucker knew what he's doing. Give him life in the chair.
Oh Jesus!
Life in the chair, bro. Fry his little ass like a little.
I wonder
wing.
what that. You wonder what happens with something like that.
Let the mom and dad. What?
Damn. Well, the mom and dad should be held accountable for sure.
You want to plug anything?
Whoever the guardian is needs to be accountable. I know. That's for sure.
Superintendent Lamarr over here. Dude, that's brutal.
Do it again for good measure, just to make sure.
Dark Sunday today,
He's shaking over here. Oh, no. Yeah, this guy's church. This is
church over here.
Church over here taking it.
He's like, you call me church, you wait, you wait. What kind of church is this?
It's more satanic at the end here.
Got dark.
I don't know. I'm gonna call you satanic now, buddy.
What they gonna do?
You gotta be able to laugh. You know, that's the other thing. You gotta be able to laugh.
That lie was bullshit. No, you're absolutely right. The lie with it was up on the top. Come on now, what are we doing here? You're absolutely right. And people are hurt. Somebody got shot. It's crazy.
Yo,
Yeah.
Someone got
it's
shot.
really somebody got
This is
killed.
crazy.
Somebody got paid for this, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and we just not gonna blame the country.
Yeah.
We're gonna
No,
blame-
there mean accountability.
Yeah, like
I don't think the
we
person
gonna
got
blame
killed
the
though, right?
motherfucker.
Definitely different than I
got
think
killed. The
saying.
person got shot.
Yeah, definitely different.
Did the woman
Did
get
She
they
got
kill?
shot. The 25-year-old
She
got
didn't die
shot.
though.
See,
She
she's
didn't die.
alive.
All right.
No.
So thank God
okay.
for that.
All
shit.
right, well that's good.
But you're right though. There should be held accountability.
Yeah,
for that.
that's
Someone's
attempted
gotta-
murder,
you
bro.
can't-
But yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be
Well,
shooting
that's just the
people.
thing. You hope that that never gets to a stakes where, like, it's one thing to say something and not know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's another thing to do something that you can't take back.
Right.
That's why, like, when you have kids, like with some of these elementary, one of the things they'll do to kids when they start saying mean things is they'll do the toothpaste on a
Toothpaste
plate.
in the tube.
You take
Yeah,
the
can't put it back
toothpaste, you
in.
put it on, and then you tell them to put it back in the tube, and they're like, "I can't." Exactly.
Yeah.
Because once you've said something, and that's the piece that at some point you got to learn that. But could you imagine being a 6-year-old in a position to have to learn that? Like, how would it even get? Like, I don't know. I
The
have so many
SWAT
questions.
team involved? No, I can't.
So many
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
about
yeah.
how that
Fucking,
could.
yeah.
I'm glad it's this like anomaly. It really is an anomaly. That's not something the average first grade teacher or any first grade.
But
teacher
man, I hear a
should have to
lot
worry
in
about.
Philly, at least like once or twice a year, man, about a kid grabbing a gun and shooting a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah,
just
you hear
having
it too
access. Like once or twice a year, it's a kid with a gun in Philly. I'm just talking Philly area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They grabbing blickers, man. So there's too much access,
It's
man.
a
It's
real thing.
it's on the parents. It's totally on the parents,
It
man.
is.
I don't
It
blame the
is.
kids.
Takes
at
a
all.
village. Yeah, in Pottstown, there's a Ricketts Center that does a really good Boys and Girls Club for a lot of the people who don't have parents in their life. And I think it's a lot of times it's those kids that don't have a role model, don't have someone to look up to. And that Ricketts Center, they do a great job in the Boys and Girls Club there about including those people who maybe the grandparents now have to have the burden of raising the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
But they can't be checking they're not checking. They don't even know how to get into the kid's smartphone. Never
Yeah,
mind. Do
exactly.
Right, right.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They
Grandma.
They can't keep a pulse because, like,
And
you
then
need
that's
parents to be doing that to keep a pulse so that it doesn't build up to. That never should have built up to a thing where that kind of stuff even happened.
A lot of parents ain't got time to even be parents, man.
Well, they don't
You know
want
what
it.
I
There was
mean?
an
Like,
accident.
That's true. That's
I
unfortunate.
mean, just due to work and scheduling, like a lot of parents got like a half hour or an hour and a half tops with their kid per
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like real personal time with them.
Yeah.
And like it's tough for them to know what's going on. And then you look up and you got the disconnect. It's like, oh, what happened to you? Who are you? It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
like,
you
what,
anymore.
What the fuck were you for the past
Motherfucker.
15 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they
So-
just throw their hands up at that point and just say, all right, well, it is what it is. at
Well,
this
that I
point.
mean, he made a really good point. If you got two working parents and you have 1, 2 kids, the parenting piece is the thing that gets neglected. People will neglect the kids way before they'll neglect work.
Yeah.
You know, people will keep that work deadline. They won't miss that.
It's like the end
But
of
they'll
the
fuck around and miss a basketball game. They'll fuck around and miss a
Or
parent
just
teacher
some chill
conference.
time
or
or doing something
just some talk
creative
to
or,
me.
you know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Like,
They'll let
yeah,
that
they-
one go. That'll be by the wayside.
Well, just like the movie Elf at the end, he gave up that work meeting to go. Did you see the movie Elf?
I
And
think
the guy
have.
gets
The guy-
buried into work,
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
finally at the end
Yeah.
learns the thing, and he like tells the guy he loses the big business deal because his
book
kid
deal
said
or
he
whatever.
needs him. Yeah, and he goes down. But that's because it's that quintessential lesson that we all have to make sacrifices
Right.
at some point, and some of us are willing to, and some of us aren't, and that's everybody's journey.
Yeah.
That's why I gave up weed just to come down here right now.
You really just
I was
now.
about to roll. I said, you know what? I got this podcast, man.
Yeah, dude.
My girl was bent over, gave put some pussy on my dick. I said, I'm sacrificing weed and pussy. I was
You
sacrificing.
gotta talk to these motherfucking dads.
Well, we're
Drop
so
some knowledge on
glad
these
you
dads.
did, man.
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
you got an energy like no one else. So we love.
Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna be
Hey,
able to
thanks,
harness
man.
that energy in the studio. I'm glad we were able to do it.
Oh,
right,
nah,
'cause-
it's all good,
'cause you
man.
got the energy.
I don't want to.
I like y'all
I don't
energy
want
too.
to
Y'all
harness
laid
that.
back. Y'all cool. It's like low blood pressure, right?
I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to harness. I want that energy. Like, that's good to feed off of. I love that. Like, so whenever we do those,
And y'all got
teaser
y'all
shows-
shoes off in
Yeah,
here,
we're
man.
comfortable,
This is
bro. We're
good,
comfortable. We
man.
gave you
Yeah,
beer and
yeah,
shit.
man. Yeah,
We
it's-
gave
we
you
had to do
beer. We
something.
got the shoes off. Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is all right.
So hit the plug though. Plug yourself, bro. What you
Oh.
got coming up? What we need to know
plug
about
myself.
you, man?
That's
Yeah.
kinky, man. My name's Lamarr Todd.
Hey.
You can follow me on all platforms at Lamarr Todd. That's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And yeah, man, I'm a stand-up comedian first, and I also do some sketches and stuff like that online. You can catch those. I got a podcast, man. I got a podcast too. It's called Funny Files Podcast, where we delve into the history of comedy. We talk about just everything comedy news that's going on, and yeah, and give tips on comedies. On comedians and stuff like that. We have special guest comedians come over. So yeah, that's dope. And also got the Teachers Be Like comedy show
Heck
that
yeah.
happens about 4 times throughout the year. Me, Jay Yoder,
Hey.
my homegirl GL Douglas,
Hey.
and a couple of other collective comedians. We come together a few times a year and have that. So look out for that. Teacher Appreciation Week and then the school year and any time. About 4 times out the year we do that. And more comedy shows. Oh, and I'll be on the Classroom on Fox. That's February February
yeah.
18th. That's a game show. It's like Family Feud. It's
Yeah.
where the teachers go against.
This is your
the,
second time
students.
on it, right?
Yeah, second time on there. Last
Nice.
time it was a family thing. Now I'm going to bring actual students from my school.
All right.
Put
that's
them on
so
TV.
cool.
Man, it's going to be dope. Students and 2 teachers are going to come with me.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's cool. Looking forward to that.
You do
But,
do a lot for your student. You do a lot for your. I see you on social media doing a lot for your students. You're talking about them. I think that's a beautiful thing. You got a teacher that's involved, and I hats off to that. I commend you for that. I think it's
dope,
beautiful.
man. It's a lot of
fucking
fun, man. We just started a series in one of my classes, man, called The Block, where it's dope, man. The kids are doing their
I
own
saw
YouTube
you-
series,
Nice.
and it's like 1 or 2 minute episodes, and
Nice.
each one has their own character.
It's like the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, that
And
everybody's
it's
a
based on this
person
one
in the
kid.
neighborhood.
Yeah, this one kid, his mom is going through some financial struggles, and he tries to take it into his own hands.
Nice.
And he got some problems with that right there.
That's
But it's
nice.
dope, man. So yeah, man, that's what's going on with me, man. Lamarr Todd. Follow me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'll be doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, check him
Yeah.
out anytime, man. Yeah, just thank you for stopping by, and dude, another great episode of
Another
Seriously
beautiful
Dad,
episode.
man.
Hey, word, man.
Nice,
Thanks, man. This is awesome, man.
Thanks
This is
for
cool,
joining
man.
us, brother.
Yeah, anytime, man. Shit,
Dropping
man.
knowledge. I
This
like
is cool,
that.
man.
Thanks you guys for listening. See you next time.
Peace.
Seriously, Dad. Seriously, seriously, Dad.
Seriously, Dad.
Dad. Seriously,
Dad.
seriously, seriously.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.